This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville. By Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank. Member FDIC. And by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
Welcome into Bridgestone Arena. Predators and the Boston Bruins here on a nice Tuesday night for hockey. And let's get to our starting goaltenders, brought your way by Toyota and Stu Grimson.
Starting in net for the Nashville Predators, number 35, Pecorino. He's 19-6-1 on the year. 1.75 goals against. That's first best in the NHL. .937 save percentage. He got 3 shutouts in addition to those numbers at the other end. Also a Finnish netminder. 12-9-2 is Tuukka Rask. 2.55 goals against. .911 save percentage. His last time out, he stopped 29 of 31 shots in a 3-2 shootout loss just a couple of days ago. That's against the Ottawa Senators.
And we're underway from Nashville as the puck comes back to Roman Josi. Riley Smith in on the forecheck, followed by Brad Marchand. Kevin Miller goes back after it. He gets hit there, but Soccer kicks it up onto the right board. And Smith misses it as it comes behind the net. Centering pass tipped away as the Predators were breaking right in for it, but Matt Cullen off to the side. Marchand onto the board. Fisher chips it out. Dino Chara on D now as he joins in with Krug. Sent back into the Nashville end. Ekholm. Now let's Ryan Ellis carry ahead.
We highlighted 63 Marchand for the Bruins. There you see him in his first outing. Chip tracking it down hard. You'll see that a fair bit tonight. That's his game.
Hand pass stops the play with 56 seconds off the clock. Craig Cunningham playing on that second line, centered by Chris Kelly.
Coach Laviolette matches up that Cunningham line. Yarncroke, Smith on the right side, Roy on the left side.
Up to center, Kelly lobbed it. Lucic couldn't play it cleanly. Sent in, and Yarncroke off in pursuit with Chara. Bruins up the left board to center. Stopped there by Seth Jones. Dumped back in. Let it go for Chara, who reverses. And taken away by Yarncroke.
Good pinch by Ekholm. Great anticipation. Keeps the play alive in the offensive zone.
Here is Soderberg taking the puck to center. Ekholm. Following up was Louis Eriksson for Boston, number 21. Ryan Ellis. Comes back for Ekholm. Kelly is the man in deepest on the forecheck for the Bruins. From behind the net, Ekholm goes to his left. Angled in by Ribeiro. Trying to chip it out. It was blocked by Forsberg. Off the back of Forsberg's stick. And a try there. Taken by James Neal. Lucic comes back. And we have an offside at the Nashville blue line.
Good chance for Nashville in the early going. Best chance for either team. Watch the pressure by Forsberg. Little chip. Ribeiro down in front of Forsberg. Forsberg closes down on that wall, creates the turnover, and that allows Ribeiro to go back into the mid-slot to Forsberg. Now watch Forsberg. He lays it back to Neal. Neal gets a grade A chance right in front of Rask.
Off the face-off, they find Forsberg cutting in against Gregory Campbell. He fans first try, and they say the puck came out. He was played there. Let's get to our Ford Keys for the game here tonight.
Ford Keys tonight. Outwork your opponent. Nashville last time out versus the San Jose Sharks are guilty of taking a full 40 minutes off. It takes 60 to win at this level. You'll want to do that. And good indications here so far. 2 shots from everywhere. Laviolette like shots from everywhere. It loosens the coverage, gets the D scrambling. And hey, from time to time, they fall in. Even the bad ones fall in.
They're only bad for the goalie in that case.
Right.
As they deflected in, going after it. Nystrom, who was shaken up earlier, tried to center for Jokinen, and that's taken away. Comes right back in on net from the blue line. Rask making the stop. Krug with the long out. Marchand trying to break up and catch it. It is Nystrom giving to the D-man. Josi carrying in. To the right side goes Bourque. It's squirted out of the corner. And the Bruins play it up for Brad Marchand. Simple chip in. Riley Smith waiting for some help. Bruins getting a change. Smith versus Josi. In the corner, Josi ends up getting the puck away from him. Put onto the board, and it deflects now for Nystrom. Nice speed for Fischer. Fischer down the right side, joined in by Cullen. And that deflects away from Cullen. Carrying in deep now is Ekholm. Flipped up on the wall by Zach Trotman. Icing waved off. Fischer looking up the middle and got it off the stick there of Cullen. Seidenberg chips it out of the trapezoid. It's Ekholm in the corner. Flipped back now. Ellis throws it down to the corner. Bounced off the stick of Colin Wilson. Onto the wall and chipped by Fraser. Low Seidenberg. And around the wall it will go for an icing call against Boston with 4:25 gone. Our injury report presented to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. Bruins pretty lengthy list. David Krejci, Adam McQuaid, Mark Savard, all on injured reserve. Savard long term. Simone Gagne, Matt Markowski, Joe Morrow, more coaches' decisions. For the Predators, Victor Stahlberg on injured reserve. Paul Gostad, Taylor Beck, and Victor Bartley not in the lineup. Face off of the Bruins zone. That was Ribeiro going against Soderberg. And this will be a second consecutive icing call against Boston.
Coach Laviolette, second head coach for Nashville, earlier this year had his 400th career win versus Winnipeg, November 15th. Winningest coach, U.S.-born winningest coach, and Claude Julien at the other end, 8th season behind the Bruins bench, 27th in team history. 4 of 6 full seasons he's had these guys 100 points or more. Pretty impressive. He knows which buttons to push, Coach Julien.
And he's also coached in Montreal and in New Jersey. Done a good job every place. Carrying the puck up ice, Seth Jones. Managed to avoid one stick check, but back come the Bruins. Effectively a 2-on-1, and that shot was blocked by Volchenkov, and the follow-up by Chara goes wide of the net. Interesting blind back pass there from Ribeiro, but the Predators were able to clear the zone with it. Chara for Hamilton. Ribeiro there on the left half wall. Weber just inside the blue line toward the front of the net, and the rebound sort of behind Ribeiro, who got tripped up by Hamilton, and the puck comes careening in the Nashville end. Lucic there on Weber. Josi up the left wing side. Predators churning up ice. It'll be Weber carrying in and shooting, and that one is blocked by Seidenberg out of play.
Coach Laviolette tinkering with line combinations. We'll show you how that works out based on last game. That means, scratch that. Derek Roy moves up into this spot right here. That bumps Wilson up. Then Cullen actually slips over here onto the right side in that line, moving Craig Smith down. And then you see Olli Jokinen move into that 4-hole in the absence of Paul Gostad.
Off the faceoff, Ellis' shot was wired wide of the Boston net. Ellis and Yarncroke back. It is Ellis that picks up. Taken away from Daniel Paille. Chops from Yarncroke. That leaves Ekholm to pick up. Ekholm turns against Seth Griffith. Soft pass is still handled and motored into the zone down the right side by Roy. And his shot took off high. Pulling back up ice with it, Griffith lost control of the puck. Ekholm turns away from the pressure of Paille. Shots are 3-0 Nashville. It's 0-0 coming up on 6.5 minutes play. Fisher backhands it in. Kevin Miller goes to pick it up. Bruins a simple breakout. Soderberg swatted down from outside the line. And I thought that Fraser got back on side, but the linesman doesn't agree with me. It's 0-0. 6:42 gone. Why are we taking a look at these two guys? Because it leads us to our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Both captains, both defensemen, one significantly larger than the other large defenseman, but look at those career points and career games and the way they match up. And here's what I find interesting, Pete. Shea Weber can shoot the puck 106 miles an hour. He can put it through the net and the boards 108.8 miles an hour. Chara must be able to put it through the boards, through a fan, through a tree outside, through a passing car.
Right through a goaltender.
Rather remarkable. That's a heavy, heavy shot.
We've seen that at the All-Star Skills Competition the last few years. Puck is picked up by Bourque. Got a shot that was blockered away. Out of that corner, put on the wall by Soderberg. Good work there by Gabriel Bourque. Looked up at Krug, and a quick shot results by Eric Nystrom. Nystrom at point blank. Now Fraser laboring into the zone. They both go down on the sidewall. Louis Eriksson picks up. Chara came in on the attack here. Soderberg into the slot area. It'll be Chara. Will he launch one of those? Yes, but it's a softer shot. A change-up from him. And stopped by Pecorine. Bruins now have a shot on the Nashville net. Predators have 5 on the Bruins net. Matt Fraser dumps it in off the end board. A follow-up is blocked. Ribeiro gets control of the puck. Riley Smith got a piece of it. Coming down right side. The try is blocked by Ribeiro. And the puck slides on over. Where it's picked up by Mattias Ekholm. Forsberg got control, but Neal couldn't get in the zone. Here's Riley Smith with Marchand. Toward Marchand. Got it onto his stick. After it was caught in his skates, or so it seemed. Smith. As it comes over right side, that quick shot off the pad of Rinne. It was taken by Trotman. The follow-up by Marchand. Rinne blocks that too. James Neal curls it out for Forsberg. Forsberg chopped away from him. Retrieved Nashville zone by Captain Shea Weber. Down the right side with it went Cullen after the line change. The left wing side, Kelly. Long for Lucic. Played back out by Josi. Colin Wilson breaking in, 1-on-3. Coming over, trying to make the play, and that pass, a little bit too much hook action on that. Back to center. And offside Nashville, Matt Cullen trying to enter the zone.
Good look for Gabby Bourque a little bit earlier in this series. Great heads-up play, great pass through neutral ice. He collects it in the high slot. Quick shot off, and then right after that, immediately following, again, coverage breaks down off shot, secondary opportunity, squirts out to Nystrom, him with a grade A chance as well.
Outside the Nashville line, Soderberg versus Yarncroke. And sent into the zone by Fraser, but it goes out of play. 9:08 has been played. Predators and the Bruins will meet again 1 week from tonight at the TD Garden in Boston. Neal talking things over a bit as they line up for the face-off with Fraser. It comes back to Krug. behind the net by Rinne. Ellis and Ekholm, and then it's tapped in by Forsberg. Put up the wall by the captain, Charles. Cunningham dealt it back for Kelly, and Hamilton slips, trying to pick it up. Predators 2-on-1. Neal coming on, trying to get to Ribeiro, tapped away. Seth Jones with a shot off the stick of Rask. Pass comes out to the line. Held in Volchenkov. Angled it back to the corner. Hamilton, who had slipped to create that 2-on-1, gets the puck out of the Boston zone.
Great transition, great opportunity to exploit that Hamilton slip by the Ribeiro line. 2-on-1 going the other way.
Forsberg. The battle with Campbell. Hamilton puts it on the board. And the pass comes over down the left wing side. Paille trying to drive there on Volchenkov. Put it out in front. No shot for Boston. Gregory Campbell out of the trapezoid. Trying to put it right in front. Off Paille it goes. And sent back for Volchenkov, who was tied up by that pass for a little bit as he tried a hand pass to clear. And the Bruins continue on the attack. Backhander in front. Rinne makes the stop there on Seth Griffin. Volchenkov puts it off the boards. And this will be an icing on Nashville with 9:13 remaining in the first.
Opportunity for Neal earlier. Remember, off that Hamilton fall in mid-ice. Good play by Rask. Neal is wide, using his body to protect the puck. Filters it out to Ribeiro. Rask disrupts the chance. Chance right back for Boston. Boston starting to show a little pace to their game. Now registering 4 shots here as we're entering the back half of the first.
Now, I'm going to bring Marchand in for the faceoff. Put Bergeron on the top of the circle. Riley Smith on the slot side of it all. Predators get control of the draw. Did Ribeiro. Seth Jones, that pass to the left wing. Lobbed in with the pitching wedge. And the Predators were trapped out there in an icing situation. Torrey Krug comes to center red and drills it in. Craig Smith reverses for Weber. Hammered off the end board behind the net. Krug got the left point. That one is sent wide by Patrice Bergeron. Comes away for Craig Smith, and he's able to clear the zone. And we have a slashing call. Slashing the call here at 11:23. Predators and the Bruins are 0-0. Nashville to the power play when we return.
Guys, I'm here with Ryan Ellis. Ryan, you knew tonight was going to be a physical game. How do you feel you guys are matching up so far?
Yeah, both teams came out hitting. They're both playing hard. It's back-to-back action, and we got a power play here, so hopefully we can convert.
As you mentioned, pretty back and forth. How would you describe the pace of this game?
Yeah, it's been really fast. It's exactly what we expected. They move the puck well. They forecheck well, and they break out of their end well, so we're going to have to do the same.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan.
And so slashing was the call on Brad Marchand. Pass by Weber, stopped in the skate of Forsberg. Bergeron trying to get to it and rolls all the way to the right board.
What a smart play by Weber.
And a pass right in front, and Forsberg tried to return for Fisher breaking off the board. Quick pass. Boy, Neal got that pass away like one of his shots.
Sure did, and that play is only possible. Weber bouncing puck on the left point side. Can't play it with his stick under pressure. Uses his skate, chips it back down to Forsberg. That's why the group stays alive.
Kelly and Eriksson on as the penalty killing forwards, and Kelly gets a shot on the Nashville net. 1:08 remaining in the power play. Forsberg flipped it in over Eriksson. Down to that Predators right wing corner for Seth Jones. Ellis to Jones, and Jones with a try, broken up in front. Ribeiro working the half wall. Jones gets back in position, lost it, and now Louis Eriksson with a shorthanded try, but getting back very quickly, Seth Jones. Now a follow by Kelly, slightly wide of the net.
Scrambling, but good recovery by Jones to go stick on stick with Kelly. No chance at the net, no play at the net.
Ribeiro to the left side. Colin Wilson Drills it back to the center point. Pulled back away for Ribeiro. Ribeiro thinking about Smith, but he's covered. Jones with a shot, handled by Rask. And Chara very enthusiastically cleaning away Colin Wilson.
I want to show you that play a little bit earlier in the series. Puck squirts back to Weber. Again, bouncing puck. See how he plays it with his skate there rather than with his stick. He's under pressure. Keeps the Preds alive in the offensive zone. Good chance as a result. There you see the cross-crease play. Wilson gets a piece of it, redirects it through Rask's pads. Rask manages to hang on. Surprisingly, that one almost leaked 5-hole.
13 seconds on the man advantage. Hamilton in the corner. Swept around by Cullen. Flipped and just deflected wide by Yarncroke. Out of the trapezoid, and that will do it for the Nashville power play. Marchand comes out. Predators got the puck toward the net, but may have effectively blocked that shot themselves.
Another good keep by Weber to make that chance possible.
Chara got the puck as it was flipped away. And back in the Nashville zone. So the Predators, one shot on net with the power play. It's still a 0-0 game. Smith was in on the forecheck. The F1, as coaches like to refer to him. Deflected by Jokinen. Put around the wall, anticipated right side. Fed for Jokinen. His shot was blocked. Going down to block that was Trotman. Flipped in by Lucic. No icing. Lucic there. Ellis kicked the puck over to his left. Back to the point. And that shot tipped and hit the pipe. Trotman's shot was deflected and hit the goalpost to the left of Pecorine.
All kinds of traffic in front.
A try there initially by Ekholm. Hammered off the boards back to center. And the Predators will be called for an offside. 14:43 gone in the first. Close call for the Boston Bruins. This game is still 0-0 as Trotman's shot deflected by Lucic.
Preds fans, it's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, purchase a ticket for the game on Tuesday, December 30th versus St. Louis and receive a $100 food and beverage voucher. To order, call 615-770-7800 or visit NashvillePredators.com/hot-ticket-time.
Shea Weber up the middle. Just wide, and that was close to being an icing infraction against Nashville. But pulled away. Fraser now reversed. And Soderberg was able to clear it to center. Pass picked off. Coming on now is Soderberg on the left side. And the shot taken away by Matt Fraser. Deflected out by Cullen. Fraser back defensively. And an offside at the Boston line. And there's going to be a penalty indicated here as well. Penalty at 15:24.
High sticking is the call against Colin Wilson. See a little bit earlier in this series, battle on the half wall. Trying to protect the puck, comes up on Krug. Catches him up under the visor. Here's turnover in neutral ice, creates that chance against Boston. Comes back almost 2-on-1, shot from the outside. Rinne had to be sharp. Smart save, good save. Pushes it out to the left corner.
Predators come away with the face-off and it's skated out, then flipped into the Boston zone by Nystrom.
Mark of a good penalty killer there. Nystrom takes a look. He's got all kinds of space, hangs onto it, skates it rather than shoots it, chews up more time. Through.
And now the shot blocked by Nystrom and out across the line.
Great block. Nice piece of penalty killing by Eric Nystrom.
Down the board. Bruins on their first power play. Nystrom is able to clear. Predators will change up their penalty killers. The arm broke out now with Fisher. Sent into the zone by Dougie Hamilton. Chara playing up front effectively on this power play. Bears run on Erickson. Fisher reaching for the puck. And it's drilled past Riley Smith. Smith on a point with Hamilton. Erickson carries in. Looking across, and that shot deflected up and down by Rinne.
Smart play by Ekholm to lay the stick down as Boston's driving wide, trying to filter it into the net. Up and over the slot it goes. Good positioning, good stick work by the big Swede.
Coming up on 20 seconds remaining in the penalty on Colin Wilson. Erickson to the point man. Hamilton returned to Erickson. And off for Bergeron. That knocked high and deflects out of play. Friday, SEC College Hoops is on Fox Sports South as Tennessee will be hosting Tennessee Tech. That action tips off Friday at 6 Central, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox Sports South. To the left of Pekka Rinne. Shots 8 aside. So neither side. And it's one of that Boston power play. Miller knocks it back at center. And Lucic rather slow to get out of the zone.
Great job by Fisher. See 10 seconds remaining on that penalty, Pete. He's in a tough spot too. Remember, he's on his forehand trying to pull it back to the left corner. Wins that draw clean. Reds are able to kill off the remaining 10 seconds, the man advantage. Assuming Boston doesn't score inside the remaining second. Not likely from there.
Really not. And they have not. Wilson comes out of the penalty box. Scramble for the puck by the Nashville bench. Kelly is there with Cullen, and Cullen sends it in. Rask comes out to stop it with the stick. Down the right side with it. Cunningham. Goes down toward the end wall. Josi chipped it away from Milan Lucic. Fisher to center. Given now to Wilson, breaking in as he was going across, trying to cut between two defenders. I believe it was Lucic who knocked the puck loose.
Wilson is within a whisker of breaking loose altogether. Almost partial breakaway. He's got a good head of steam. Skating it well these days.
Chara put it in front for Bergeron, and they get it out with a work of Marchand. Trying to get it back to Marchand, and they give it goal at center. Preds knock it down. Marchand flips it into the corner. Rinne shovels it back onto the corner. And Chara sweeps it in. Ribeiro. Got it back from Ellis. Ellis was Ribeiro a slap pass attempted.
Yeah, he's looking for Neal. That's his intended receiver.
Neal goes over with Chara. Ribeiro comes out for Forsberg. And Campbell got a piece of his stick on it before it's covered up by Rask.
Preds with a clean breakout. Wilson jumps under that little chip into him, the middle. Then the Bruins, one man back, are able to front the attack. I believe that was Kelly. Had collapsed back into the defensive position for Boston. Does a great job on Wilson, who, for all intents and purposes, had a pretty decent look until Kelly goes stick on stick.
To the left side of Rask. Sent back for Seth Jones. His shot knocked down. Back out comes Soderberg. Sending Paille in, but Paille lost the puck to Roman Josi. Then a pass by Smith is blocked by Soderberg and dumped back behind the Nashville goal. And the puck almost stolen cleanly. Campbell couldn't get the shot away. Predators got a little lackadaisical around their net. Soderberg thinking wraparound, forced wide, and tipped out through center.
Smart positioning by Seth Jones. Soderberg lurking out, trying to filter into the middle. Jones with the stick in the lane. Preds get out of trouble.
Taken in by Jokic on the feed from Jones. Backhander off the stick of Rask. Up the right board it goes. Predators get it back under control. 7 seconds to go in the period. Seth Jones with the chip. Scaled back in from outside the line. And with under a second to go, the Predators got possession back. But that will do it for a 0-0 first period. In our first intermission coming up for you, our Mercedes-Benz of Nashville interview. Vince Gill will visit with Mark and Terry. News on that troika, and we'll have highlights and stats. 0-0 at the end of one. Predators and the Boston Bruins from the Bridgestone Arena in downtown Music City, USA. The shots, they're even as well. 9 aside to be handled by Tuukka Rask and Pekka Rinne.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
0-0 game heading into the second period. But before we go there, we like to give you different looks at the game. And how about the old basketball style shot charts, too?
So we've got a pretty good look here at shots on, missed shots, block shots. See a high concentration from that right point side. What's that tell you? Seth Jones, Shea Weber getting lots of shots. Large cluster right in and around there. Some of those shots, let's take a look. And we talked about getting shots at the net from everywhere as part of our key. Watch this transition out to Weber. Weber outside, finds the shooting lane, gets it through. Good attempt at the net there. Roy on the wide drive. I like this one. Put it there hard. Deflected in the last second. And here's Bourque with a good chance. This will lead to a follow-up chance by Nystrom. Bourque, quick release. Play will cycle. Again, loosens up the coverage. Gets things sinking down inside the defensive zone. That allows the Nystrom chance. And Nystrom with a grade A opportunity. But still we sit. 9 shots apiece after all that action. No goals.
And by the way, we also had 4 chances aside in the first period. How much more even?
And I tell you, the pace of play, I think, largely dictated by the Preds in the early going. Credit the Boston Bruins for the last 7 or 8 minutes. A lot more pace to their game. Pushing the pace over the back half of that first period.
So underway here in the second. Oh, and hard into the end board. Skate against skate, but it came away for Roman Josi. Neal with Chara. Ribeiro reaches it in the trapezoid. Weber comes down to take it, throw it in front, and that bounced right off Kevin Miller. And the Nashville end again. A little bit wide of Ribeiro, but played by the goaltender, Tuukka Rask. Ribeiro with Marchand right behind him. And deflected right to the Nashville line. Marchand let it go. Soderberg tried to put it right in front, and Ellis got the stick on it.
Good defensive positioning by Ellis. Puck thrown out towards the low slot from the deep corner. Ellis stick in the middle. Reds are able to attack back the other way.
Colin Wilson curling high up on that left wing board as Cullen tried to send it down to the corner. Soderberg on the board behind the play. Fisher was tied up. Eriksson tried to loft it out, knocked down Ekholm, and then Wilson put it back toward the front of the net. Ekholm comes out of the Nashville zone. Bruins making a change. Ekholm is the man carrying in, then he backhands to the corner, and he goes to the bench for a Nashville change.
Smart play by Ekholm. Pushing it deep enough until he gets all kinds of pressure. Concerned he might turn it over, just lays it in deep to keep Nashville in the offensive zone.
Got a hooking call here. Hooking will be the call. Had nothing to do with the play on the lines. And let's get the announcement here.
National penalty, 21, 2 minutes, okay.
Gord Dwyer making the pronouncement.
Like Roy is going to go. Derek Roy stick in and under the arm of Kelly on the half wall inside the Boston zone. Little tug, not a lot. Fairly nuanced, but enough to draw the minor. Preds will be at a man disadvantage yet again.
So the power play getting set for the Boston Bruins. Smith back at 1 point with Hamilton, and the faceoff comes back to the Nashville attack area there. Jokinen is on with Nystrom, and they did a great job penalty killing in the first period. Bergeron fed back out now for Hamilton. Quick shot, that deflected off Bergeron. Picked up by Eriksson. Soderberg flipped it across in front, broken up. Out to the point it goes, Rick kept in. Jokinen lost it, he would have had it to clear. Eriksson. Spun low by Bergeron, and in front, and the puck, why was that not tapped home by Riley Smith? Can't wait to see a replay of that. Hamilton missing the net. Eriksson can't get to it. Predators failing to clear. And then once again coming across to block the Smith shot, Pecorine. Soderberg on the half board, walking in off the pad of Rinne. A stick is given back to Shea Weber by Eric Nystrom as Weber's stick was broken. Straight ahead now, Hamilton, and Rinne absorbs it. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable sequence.
Riley Smith has that great opportunity just out the end of his reach, unable to get a solid stick on it. He bunts it wide, but shortly after that same series, Soderberg driving from the half wall, through a little traffic. Rinne, great blocker save. Watch him redirect it out the far side into the most harmless spot in the zone.
Second power play to run now for the Bruins. Krug and Chara just tried to shovel it back out in front. Played back by Griffiths. Held in there by Trotman. And that puck goes through center. Back on the Boston net.
Talked with Coach Laviolette about this very thing today, although it looks like Chara's going to leave the ice here. 10 seconds remaining in the Bruins man advantage, but they camp the big fella out on that power play. He's a lot to manage.
Quick shot, and that one is gloved down. Trotman took it. Tomorrow, Sports South has Memphis NBA action. Tune in to watch as the Memphis Grizzlies take on the San Antonio Spurs. Grizzlies and Spurs tomorrow at 7 Central on Sports South. But make sure to check your local listings for game availability in your area. 2 seconds remaining on the penalty to Derek Roy. Bruins so far 4 shots on the Nashville net with the advantage. Still a 0-0 game. Penalty has expired. Roy back into the action, and that puck came off the end wall. A couple of whacks at it, and finally the score. A second whack at the initial shot, and the Bruins are on the board. An even strength goal at 4:04.
Not much separation between the face-off and this goal. Draw one back. They go D to D. The Bruins do. Puck is filtered down to the net. Then you see that chance. Bad angle shot. Far side. Drops back out in front of Milan Lucic. And Lucic, there you see great look. Up and through the legs of Rinne goes Lucic. Sorry, over through Weber's legs and then up and over the shoulder of Pecorine. Impossible save for Rinne. Just absolutely no way you could pick that one up as he's scrambling.
And they're going to review that. The headset coming out now from the penalty timekeeper's bench. And didn't take that long. Gord Dwyer just says, go ahead, face it off. It's a good goal.
Yeah, as we're running through that replay, to me, Pete, I don't see any basis to overturn that goal. I do not. It looked clean to me.
So Lucic gets his 6th. Predators coming back. Ribeiro to the corner. Dealt back to Ribeiro, but taken behind the net by Craig Cunningham. Miller. Lucic deals it out. Weber stops it. Tipped in Neal. Neal and Seidenberg back over now for Kevin Miller. Bruins come in from the right side, and that shot just sort of feathered off the stick of Rinne as Cunningham was breaking in the right wing. Miller could not hold the puck in at the point. Bruins get a change. 1-0 Boston. Lucic with his 6th at 4:04, an even strength goal. Ekholm, and now it's Fisher. Fisher, a veteran of many battles with the Bruins while playing so many years with the Ottawa Senators. Bears are on the long clear, knocked down by Fisher. Down to the corner on the right side. Here's Chara. A slap pass came hot out of the corner. Ellis. Shoveled down around and through the trapezoid. As Marchand is checked there. Well, the Predators' mighty Mike, Ryan Ellis. Slipped into the Nashville end by Bergeron. Weber picks up. A glove dropped back in the Nashville defensive zone. Yossi carries, and that sets up the offside on the right wing as we go to Lindsay Rowley for a report.
Guys, I just got an update that Anton Volchenkov did suffer a lower body injury, and his return currently is questionable. Back to you, Pete.
Thank you. So that occurring in the first period as you had picked up, Stu.
Coach Laviolette indicating timeout here. Pete, looks like he'll spend that timeout. 14 on the clock in the second period. We have something. This may be the spot where Volchenkov suffers that lower body injury. Again, this is action back in the first period. 2-on-1 play in front of him. He's down, cross body, trying to take away that scoring opportunity from the left wing side. He catches it somewhere in the right leg. That might be the very moment right there. You recall towards the back end of that period, Pete, we're seeing some different defensive pairing combinations out there in the absence of Anton Volchenkov. And you know him well enough, the hard Russian. If he can get back, he'll be back.
That's why it's questionable at this time. So the Bruins, 8 shots on net, 5 of those interpreted as scoring chances. The puck trying to center, deflected behind Smith to Boston's Payet. Ekholm. Bring it in. On the board by Krug. Craig Smith toward the front of the net. Knocked down there by Trotman. And helmetless now. Here comes Krug. Behind Campbell. Turned back down the left wing side. Jokinen flipped it on net. And Rask will glove it down. 6:40 off the clock in the second. Bruins have a 1-0 lead on Nashville. Predators looking, now just got their first shot of the period.
Moments earlier, Milan Lucic gets the Boston Bruins on the board. There you see that scramble at the net front, and it goes up through the legs of Weber. Weber faced away from the inside of the ice. I think the review really takes place for this reason. There you see that overhead angle. Stop it right there, guys, and back it up. There you see the puck right in that area right there. So Toronto confirming that one has crossed the line. Good goal for Boston.
Forsberg could not quite hold on to it. Forsberg has it right side, goes to the quiet area, gets a shot. Knocked down in front there by Kevin Miller. And that will be an icing on the Bruins. That was waved off at the last. Yossi's long pass. Take it in Ribeiro. Ribeiro will leave for Neal. He whips one right on net, and Rask holds on to it. Tuukka Rask facing that shot, the drop by Ribeiro to James Neal.
Great chance for Neal, and it all happens as a result of a huge diagonal pass. Look at Roman Josi right through 2/3 of the ice to Ribeiro. Ribeiro lays off to Neal. Right away, Neal, quick shot at the net. Need to see more of that from these Nashville Predators. Sensing a lull in their game through the first, say, 7 or so minutes of this period. Shots 17-9 now, back to 17-12 for the Bruins.
Yeah, that lull definitely was there. Part of it, of course, a penalty they had to kill. From the left side, Rinne directs that, and now we have some company for Pekka Rinne. Back in the net, but no harm, no foul, so no whistle. Soderberg up the boards, just eluding. And now a shot, and Ellis got the shot through. Rask felt it, I am sure, but didn't know where the rebound had gone.
Terrific play at the net by Ellis. Catches that D-to-D pass from Jones, cradles it, gets it into the net front in short order. See that D-to-D pass comes off the half wall, then Jones right over. Ellis gets it in a tough spot, but it manages to control it, get it down there in a hurry. And this puck is actually redirected on its way down. Terrific save by Tuukka Rask to get that glove hand extended and catch a piece of that puck.
To the right side now, and they're going to get a little repair of the ice. Michel Cormier smoothing things out under the direction of Bruins captain Zdeno Chara. Billy Erickson looking on as well.
Looks like a full-blown city crew down there. White hard hats intact.
Cullen pulls the draw back. Fed over, right side, and now left. Ekholm a blast, off a pad in front. Cullen for the rebound. Colin Wilson. Shea Weber, quick wrister, missing the net. Ekholm carried around Erickson. Swings it now to Cullen. Cullen comes out in front, bounces off a pair of Bruins, and now is flipped off the boards back to center.
Something dynamic needs to happen for these Preds in order to turn momentum in this one, and it looks just like that. Start stringing some of those shifts together.
And now Colin Wilson with a backhander just missed the net as Rask barely got back in between the pipes. Cullen right in front. Wilson stopped point blank. Up the wall. Ekholm blocked Cunningham's clear. Kelly for Chara. Chara's pass broken up. Nicely anticipated. Wilson backhands. Lucic stopped it. And now it's fed out for Cunningham. Cunningham's pass deflected and then jabbed away from Lucic. Lucic retreats. Centered it. Oh, and what a shot there by Gregory Campbell. That was stopped by Pekka Rinne at 9:22.
Terrific chance here. Lucic tries to go inside out. Shot comes at the net nonetheless. Pass from him out of the deep corner. Campbell with a grade A opportunity. Rinne with an A+ save to keep Gregory Campbell off the board.
Campbell in off the draw, and the linesman on the outside wants to settle things down before the puck gets dropped. They hope for good on this one as it's pulled back to the corner. Derek Roy got the faceoff back to Josi. This deflects in and is played over on the right side for Seth Griffith. But too far for him. Seth Jones behind the Nashville net. Trying to shake off Griffith. And into a roadblock as the puck is settled down by Trotman. Campbell comes back. Trotman another try with Trotman steps up and inside the Nashville blue line. High shot glove down. As with 10:03 remaining in the second period, 1-0 Boston. Some news and notes. And the first item certainly of great interest to Predators fans.
Certainly does. One of my favorites. Ex-teammate Thomas Vokoun. Terrific moments as a Predator. He retires after 15 seasons. He is Nashville's all-time goaltending leader just in terms of games played. There you see 383, and Edmonton Oilers coach. Hadn't been that coach for all their coach for all that long. Dallas Eakins is let go. 15 of 16 games suffered losses.
Shot off the end board to the left of Rinne, and the other The Mumps have continued to afflict the NHL, including league MVP Sidney Crosby, the Penguins.
We've learned the Mumps are not choosy.
No, they aren't.
They'll affect anybody.
Cullen's pass lost to the skates of Wilson, and then Cullen got it back, throws it wide of Fisher. To the point. Wrapped low. Josi to the corner with it. Bergeron right there with him. Riley Smith tried to clear. Cullen fired it wide. Weber comes over. Fed back for Josi. His shot, and that one blocked. Never got through to the net. Riley Smith with it. Bruins try to come back with a transition. Marchand, and a rebound was left, but Bergeron's stick was being held up in the air.
Terrific save by Rinne. Again, channeling that opportunity, that save, puck towards the deep corner.
Miller playing the puck off the wall, and a shot handled by Pekka Rinne. So it's 8:59 to go here in the second. Mike Fisher getting the physical side of his game going. Predators trail by a goal.
Down here with Kevin McCarthy. Coach, trailing in shots right now. What do you guys need to do in order to create more scoring opportunities?
Well, I think they got a little bit of momentum from that last power play, obviously, and they scored just at the end of it, so got us back on our heels a bit. We got to start doing a better job on our dump-ins of putting the puck in areas where we can get it back. It's just making it too, the goaltenders handling way too many pucks and just making easy breakouts, and we're not getting enough zone time.
And Boston leading right now 1-0. What are you seeing out there that they're doing right?
Well, I think that they're playing their game. I mean, they're a team that waits for you to make mistakes and turn pucks over. And I thought the first period was a pretty even period. Other than that power play, I thought this period was fairly even also.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
And the Predators trying to get themselves set up in the Boston zone. Miller just ahead of Forsberg, and then Chara for Soderberg. Predators get it turned over behind the net, but then Soderberg was able to clear it out.
Well, the Bruins are not afraid to try that low outlet pass right into the deep slot there.
Yeah.
Had it turn over on him in that instance. Almost got scrambling as a result.
Well ahead of Neal, left by Krug, and then Neal going after it, but the Bruins get it back to center. Since getting in, stick to side, now Nystrom. Here's a try by Bork. That deflected off the backside of Trotman.
Great play by Nystrom to find Bork in the mid-slot. Great shot by Bork. Gets closed off at the last second.
Lucic centers. Almost put in by Jokinen. Almost there.
That one drops over the line. You call that a selfie.
Yeah.
Olli Jokinen catches a hard play to the low slot. Has trouble controlling it. See it just jump right off his stick there, and Rinne actually has to flag that down. Left pad, glove, and then smother it to settle things down. Right play by the Finnish goaltender. That gets your heart started.
Yes, it does. At least it does mine, I'll tell you. Yossi's pass was tipped up and then flipped into the zone. Miller reverses toward Fraser. Comes back now for Seidenberg. Nystrom takes a swing at it along with Gabriel Bork. That's quite the scrum going on. Seidenberg is on his keister. And now is he going to be called for trying to hatch it?
I think we're just going to whistle that one down and reset it for a lack of progress. Predators are back at Bridgestone Arena after the holiday break to take on the Philadelphia Flyers on Saturday, December 27th. It's a McDonald's family 4-pack night. Get 4 upper-level tickets and 4 McDonald's coupons for just $99. All fans in attendance will also receive a Shea Weber bobblehead. I got to be there that night for that. The puck drops at 7 p.m. For tickets, visit NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800.
Trying to jump on the draw as the puck is dropped. Jarnkrok against Bergeron. Bergeron pulls it back for Dougie Hamilton. Making more than a few healthy cuts at it. Here's Riley Smith. Smith cutting to the net. Gets upended there. No penalty call. Craig Smith was the defender coming back. Krug from the blue line. A desperate flip back to the net. Yarncroke off the Bruin Bergeron. It is Hamilton at center ice. Shoots it in. Gloved and dropped by Rinne. Bruins for a change. 6:45 remaining in the period. Sent back for Ekholm by Roy. Dropping onto the wall. Paille was blocked. Gregory Campbell met up with, and his pass came off the wall, and the Preds break out to Shea Weber. He's at center red, flings it in. Left side to right. Trotman. Griffiths ahead of him, too far for Griffiths. Josi got his pass over toward Neal. Neal crunched by Seidenberg against the wall. Forsberg over, and that went out of play, and there's going to be a delay of game penalty here on the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, puck played from deep inside the Boston zone. Seidenberg up and over the glass. He'll get the delay of game called.
Minor penalty for delay game.
At 13:53, second period, Predators down a goal. They will get their second opportunity with the Tennessee Lottery power play.
There you see Forsberg applying the pressure to Seidenberg down low. Again, even if you're not turning that puck over, apply the pressure, take away time and space. You may force a player like Seidenberg to make a play he doesn't want to and get himself in trouble. The trouble here is minor penalty.
Weber the blast, wide of the net. Chara is able to get enough on it to clear it.
Good opportunity. Draw one right back. Cycle D to D. Weber. Heavy shot. Rolling puck. Those are dangerous. Those will get a goaltender back on their heels along with the rest of the defenders.
Fisher finds his way into the zone. Forsberg down to the left board. Tip back for Josi. Back for Shea Weber. Weber a wrister. That one blocked in front by Chara and cleared back into the national end.
Good piece of penalty killing by Zdeno Chara. D to D at the point. Weber trying to find a shooting seam through. Chara steps out. The block sends the Preds back into their own zone.
And offside. Carrying the puck into the Boston end with 1:10 remaining on the penalty.
Nice little turnover by Marchand. Nice piece of penalty killing by him. Stands Nashville up at the blue line. Forces the offside. And I'll tell you what, fortunate for Nashville that they are offside. Otherwise, Marchand's heading back the other way.
Ellis is on. Ribeiro didn't quite come to him on the half wall. Smith was there, and that pass ends up getting tipped and out across the line. Seth Jones and the Predators called for the offside.
Marchand, a penalty killer of a different order, a guy you got to be aware of when he's out there. 2013-14 last year, he's tied for first in the NHL. 5 short-handed goals. There again, he had a look if Nashville's not offside.
Comes back in the Bruins end and cleared down ice by Miller. Ribeiro carries in, uses his keister to create some space. To the blue line, and Ellis. Seth Jones back for Ribeiro. Ellis the blast off the pad there of Rask. Trying to flag it down in the corner. Miller. Ribeiro to the half wall. 20 seconds remaining. Ribeiro for Ellis had to stop it and escape, so no shot availability. Seth Jones has one, trying to get the rebound home, Colin Wilson, and blocked out in that regard by Chara. Here's Ellis again, trying to find an opening. Jones to Ellis, and it came off the toe of the blade. Spinning there was Smith, couldn't get the shot on. Power play is over. Predators had one official shot on the Boston net. Bruins still lead 1-0 in the later stages of the second period. An even strength goal actually occurring shortly after a power play had expired.
Good looks for Nashville in the back half of that power play, still unable to convert.
Chipped in by Nystrom. Yarncroke goes after it, tied up by Krug. Coming from the offside was Bork. Bork and Bergeron. Bork staying with it as he goes against Krug. And it's Trotman who got it out to center. Here's Brad Marchand. Marchand. Down to the corner, Bergeron. Krug, left point, and gloved down by Pecorine. So 3:11 remaining in the period, and some pushing and shoving follows up the whistle. 1-0 Boston Bruins with the goal by Milan Lucic. 4 minutes, 4 seconds into the period. 1-0 Boston.
Keep your eyes on that man right there, and then watch what happens here towards the upper part of the umbrella inside the zone. Soft, silky entry by Ribeiro. Look at him backpedal his way into the top half of the Boston zone, and then across to Ellis, to Jones. Jones back to Ribeiro, to Ellis. Great play at the net. Terrific piece of puck handling at the top of the umbrella. I tell you what, Pete, you put together enough plays like that with the man advantage, it'll fall for you. Just be patient.
Yep.
And play it that way. Terrific entry, terrific exchange.
Good keep in by Krug. Stick was dropped. Olli Jokinen without the stick. The puck in front. And Rinne ties up the puck, diving onto his belly. So coming up on Fox Sports Live tonight, the NFL's rushing leader, DeMarco Murray. He's uncertain for Week 16. Unless, of course, you speak with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer you endorse. And he's not the only one talking. Jay Gruden speaks out about RG3 and our NFL Insider there to get you up to speed. Plus, the Yankees finally make a decision on A-Rod. We'll have highlights from across the NBA and the NHL on Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1. Shot in wide by Smith. Cullen came by. Good play on the boards by Colin Wilson. Krug then and Fisher. Cullen there too. Fisher around Soderberg. Wilson wanted to center. Cullen then picks it up. At the blue line, Ellis. Ekholm with a shot. Sliding out to stop it. And then a rebound try for Cullen. Goes out of play. And a frustrated Matt Cullen turns around and looks up at the rafters.
Boy, is he ever. Best look he's had in quite some time. But a great little exchange. Fischerline doing a great job inside the offensive zone. Puck comes off the back wall to Cullen. He's down in the low slot. Look at the little turnover created by Fisher. Goes under the stick of Krug so that puck leaks out to Cullen. Cullen challenging Rask to the upper right corner of the net.
Off the face-off. Neal, just before the puck was dropped, was looking back at Josi. Slides it back for Roman Josi. Behind the Boston net yet again. Forsberg. Down the left board to the corner. Over the shoulder of Neal. Forsberg had it. Given back to Hamilton. And to center ice. Smith unable to control it. Philip Forsberg to the right wall. Nice give and go with Neal. Forsberg shot into the midsection of Rask. As then Forsberg gets shoved for his efforts by Zdeno Chara.
Well, when you draw the kind of national attention that Philip Forsberg does, you get that kind of treatment. Puck up to James Neal. And watch that little chip into Philip. Puts it right out in front of him, knowing that he's got momentum. Forsberg, quick little shot. Challenging Rask through the 5-hole. Rask does well to seal off the bottom. Absorb that in the midsection and then force the face-off to his left. And then not without Forsberg getting a little rough treatment from the Boston captain.
Quickly for Cunningham. He runs into Ekholm, who stood up right inside the line. Colin Wilson. Former Boston University star. Flips it in and follows up. Down there with Miller. On the boards beyond the reach of Seth Jones. Icing is waved off. Cunningham comes after it. Tries to plaster Ekholm up against the board. And then Lucic tries the same thing with Seth Jones. Lucic was coming in, all ready to cross-check him in the face. Delayed penalty call coming up against the Bruins. Wilson attempts a pass, and then a stick up in the face of Kelly Yarncrook. So 1:01 remaining in the second, and let's see if it's singular or plural calls.
Boston under 17, minor penalty for hooking.
Hooking will be the call. That's a hooking on Lucic.
Yeah, there it is. Well, I mean, it could have been, you're right, Pete, it could have been a couple of minors. It's cross-checking from behind initially as he's in pursuit of Jones, and then he loses Jones, gives him a tug, and that's what draws the attention of the officials. I'm with you. I thought he could have given him a twofer.
Yeah. So third Tennessee Lottery power play for the Predators. They trail 1-0. They have 50 seconds remaining in the period. A minute 47 on the penalty. Drop back for Neal. Almost dangerous there as Paille was right there to make a play. To the corner. 36 seconds remaining in the period. Forsberg for Weber. Wrist shot and the score! Shea Weber just put the wrist shot at the net. And the Predators tie it up. A power play goal at 19:30.8.
Well, the captain gets him back on the board. Roman Josi pinches down. That's a key part of this play. It creates the turnover. Forsberg to Shea. Shea to the net front. Weber providing the screen in front. He may have got a piece of that. I don't see it, but he's precariously close to the puck, providing all kinds of traffic confusion in and around Tuukka Rask. In any event, Preds are on the board and knotted at once. We showed you a high concentration of shots coming from the right point side post period one. Many of those, the high-grade opportunity generated by the Preds, and they continue to come from there. That was off the stick of Shea Weber. Or the shtick of Shea Weber.
Yeah. Or the shtick.
We like that shtick.
Yes.
Anytime he can pull it, we'll take that shtick.
Free from the face-off circle. In on Pecorino, who came out to play it. 1-1 the score. 10 seconds remaining in the second period. It'll be an icing call here. Let's take another look at the goal. They're awarding Mike Fisher the goal.
So Fisher does get a piece in front. There again, Josi pinched down over to Forsberg. Fisher doing a great job in front. Here's the overhead look at it. There you see him pivot as the puck comes. Yeah, it looks to me like Fisher does get a piece of it. Perhaps a glove, perhaps the shaft of his stick. But up and over Rask it goes for Nashville's first.
If they thought it was off the glove, I think we would have been spinning that for a while.
Perhaps.
So that's the end of the period.
Insert a couple of points just as we go to break. Big key emotional moment for the Preds getting on the board here late in this period. Send the Bruins into the room tied. Volchenkov, we have learned, injury update. He won't return to this one.
So it's 1-1. Both goals scored in the second. Lucic for Boston. Fisher for Nashville. It's 1-1 heading toward our second intermission. 1-1 as we head toward the third. And before they drop the puck, let's take a look at Stu's breakdown.
We talked about outworking your opponent tonight for the first 7 or 8 minutes of this second period. The Preds did not, got back to it, and it paid dividends. There's a great job by Philip Forsberg in the early going here tonight. Creates that turnover. Here's a big block by Nystrom. This is work. Absolutely, that's hard work. Down into the shooting lane, takes it away. Here's Forsberg on his horse. Great head of steam. Back to him goes Neal. And then a shot from the outside for young Philip. Here's a nice piece of work. Also, Josi pinching down. Forsberg with the outlet pass. And the most important piece of work on this, net front, Mike Fisher. You think Tuukka Rask isn't a little bit distracted by the presence of number 12 in and around the front? And that's the reason we're tied. Great work over the last half of that period by the Preds. Gets them back to even.
So the third period, to whom will it belong? Or will we have to go further?
We've done so
Yeah.
before, have we not?
Yes, we have. Smith for Bergeron. Put onto the board for Fisher, who right away ran there into Kevin Miller. 24-20, the shots favoring Boston. Pass tipped by Riley Smith, but turned back over for Colin Wilson. Wilson lays it out, but Shea Weber had to play it back across the line. Seidenberg goes in after it. In the first 37 seconds or so here. Turning to Seidenberg. Broken up at the line as Kelly tries to play it in. Stepping around there rather smartly Forsberg, and then it's Ekholm who pulls the puck away. Lobbing it behind Ribeiro, who somehow found it right away and scooped it in.
I can't believe he picked that up. It comes in from behind him. He spots it bouncing, lobs it into the offensive zone.
Only you can appreciate that, Stu, that he has hands like yours.
Sure does. Soft, silky, filthy mitts, even.
Ribeiro for Ellis. Out in front, Ribeiro scores! What a fortuitous bounce! And the Predators take a 2-1 lead, a minute 31 into the third.
Well, we talked about that man's mitts, and he demonstrates in a big way. Ryan Ellis is critical here. He is pushing the pace into the offensive zone. Look at him, deep into the attack with Chara. Puck leaks out to Ribeiro, up and over the shoulder. Look at this, great piece of forecheck by Ryan Ellis on a much bigger man, Zdeno Chara. Out to Ribeiro. Ribeiro over the shoulder in a forceful way. 2-1 hockey game for Nashville.
So Ribeiro nears double digits with his 9th of the year. Whipped in deep by Bourque. Sent back to the blue line. Nystrom returned to Bourque. Banks one for Seth Jones. His shot was blocked out of play by Fraser. So the Predators have taken a 1-0 lead in the first 91 seconds of the third.
Pete, how do you like this action? Forcing down low is Ryan Ellis. That man is 5'9", winning the puck battle with a man that's 6'9". Able to leak it out into the slot, and Ribeiro knows exactly where that's going. Once it arrives on his stick, terrific piece of work. What a forceful way to start the third. Critical moment in this game.
So the last two emotional swings have been the Predators.
They really have been. To close out the second, to start the third.
And here in icing against the Bruins. And let's get to our Timberland hard-hit highlights of the night.
And they are as follows. Great action in the early going. Ekholm, Fraser collide. Battles for loose puck down low. Fisher. Neal applying the heavy hit. Fraser again. Seidenberg collides with Fisher. And boy, did I like Fisher to start the third period. Marchand sits him down soundly on his backside. Important message sent in the early going. Preds have come to play.
Tipped almost into the Bruins bench. It is Seth Jones back to pick it up. Griffiths for Campbell. Comes shallow into the Bruins zone. Torrey Krug. What a revelation he was a few years ago for the Bruins in the playoffs. Seth Jones was waiting for it. Griffiths with the play. Campbell jabbed at it. Yossi on the wall left side. Comes back for Forsberg, challenged by Griffiths. Forsberg uses Seth Jones as the out. Neal and Ellis with the assists on Ribeiro's 9th, giving the Predators a 2-1 lead on the Bruins.
Shifts after goals. Always pay attention to shifts after goals. Little surge here. Working class follow-up by the Bruins.
Ribeiro again. Rolled on him just a little bit. Sent around by Marchand. Bergeron's pass to Marchand, who chips it and got it out to center. Riley Smith picks up. Marchand fills a lane. Smith coming on, and he banks it in off the pad of Rinne to retie the game at 2. That comes at 3:28. So a minute 57 after the Predators took the lead, the Bruins come back and tie it.
Puck turns over deep inside of Boston territory, and then on the transition, look here, you got 2-on-2 going back the other way. Miscommunication by Ellis and Neal, if at all possible. Ellis has got to slide over, being the defender, play that puck carrier. Neal takes him, Neal's in tough defensive posture, effectively turns it into a 2-on-1, and it's in behind Rinne. Boston right back in it. Boy, that's an important answer for Boston here in the early going.
Delay penalty call coming up against Nashville. Bruins get the extra attacker on. Chara taking his time, very methodically so. Marchand breaks to center. Bergeron across the line. His shot deflects out of play. And the penalty will be called here. The Bruins will go on the power play. Kelly being tended to on the Boston bench.
Yeah, right off the face-off. See Fisher and Kelly. Yeah, on the other side of that Fisher draw, Kelly and Wilson come together. Referees inspected Kelly to see if there's any injury. So just a single minor is the call.
So the Bruins will get their third chance on the power play. Game even at 2. Soderberg, Bergeron, and Louis Eriksson up front. Quick shot, spinning there by Bergeron, missed. Kicked down by Riley Smith. Forward with Hamilton, with the try, and that's broken up and flipped into the Boston zone. So Riley Smith gets his 8th. Minute 30 remaining on the power play. Smith again. Pokes back. Louis Eriksson has it. Another guy with some pretty silky hands. Former Dallas Star. Soderberg in front. Riley Smith tried to stick handle and could not get around the defender back on it.
Good job by the gold jerseys collapsing down low. Able to support as that play at the net is made and then turn it over, send Boston all the way back into their own zone.
1 minute remaining on the Wilson penalty for high sticking. Krug fakes, shoots, deflected, comes away to Derek Roy. And Roy softly sends it in.
Seth Jones does well, does not buy the Krug move, stays in the shooting lane and strips the puck.
That time taken away from Zdeno Chara, who plays up front on the Bruin power play. Both sides change. Chara, though, remains out left wing at center. 30 seconds remaining. Marchand picks his way in, followed by Chara. He took the drop back to Krug. Right side, and that shot wide of the net. Away from Griffiths it went, and the Predators break out shorthanded. Coming into the zone, and the quick shot taken by Nystrom misses the net. The rebound back to the Nashville line.
Nystrom loaded up on his off-wing side, tries to pound it one time. Up the Boston net, up and over it goes.
Bruins, as the Predators kill it off, do not get a shot on net. From back of the Nashville goal, trying to dig the puck out, Lucic. Seidenberg to his right, and that shot tipped up high off the shelf to the left of Rinne. Another stumble by Kevin Miller, but he recovers and gets back to make the play. Offside Bruins, Lucic backs off on the puck. Mike Ribeiro has it for the Predators. Ribeiro sidesteps Lucic. Delay penalty call coming on Boston. Here is Ellis looking for Ribeiro. Coming in is Fisher. Back of the net. Bruins do not get possession. Again, delay call coming up against the Bruins. Predators have the extra attacker on Fisher. Ribeiro Came across for Neal, and that's played by Campbell. Slashing will be the call. Tie the score here with 6:49 gone in the period. Predators go on the Tennessee Lottery power play in this tied game when we return.
I want to give you a quick look, a breakdown of that Boston goal. James Neal's on the right side of your screen. He does a great job supporting. Stop it right there, guys. Now, as that puck leaks over to the puck carrier for Boston, Ryan Ellis, the defender's got to jump over there, and James Neal's got to claim that guy. Watch. Neal, bad defensive posture, trailing the play. He's got the puck carrier, but never able to get him.
Bruins able to get it back in the Nashville end. Predators again. This is their fourth chance. Tennessee Lottery power play. Chara at the point, though, and that is gloved by Rinne and spit over for Fisher. Reds one of the previous three with a man advantage. Game tied at 2. Here's Shea Weber bursting in, shooting, and sort of looking behind him was Rask as a gratuitous little cross-check there, following up on the play, and the fans none too happy with that.
Not the kind of play you'll typically see Shea take early, all alone, but that's really his only option. Don't mind him making that bid from the right lane. Just go back. This is why we're on the power play to begin with. Lucic reaches inside on Ribeiro as Ribeiro cuts back. Pretty stiff whack to draw the minor.
That was lumberjack worthy.
Sure was. That's just unsportsmanlike behavior. There's no call for that kind of play out there.
Down the right side, Weber. Toward the net, with Josi breaking toward it as well. On the boards, comes back quickly to Weber. His shot missing the net. Kept in, Neal. Neal, who has played some point on the power play this season. Twisted back for Forsberg. Fisher is in front with Chara leaning on him. 50 seconds remain in the man advantage. The back door was open, but only momentarily. Neal coming on to the corner. It's deflected. Weber there along with Miller. Weber back to the line. Josi. And now across it comes, and they couldn't get it through to Neal. Fisher with that attempt.
Terrific diagonal play by Josi.
20 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Score tied. That shot deflected up off the corner glass. And cleared. No, they're going to say that was cleared with a high stick to knock it down at the line.
Yeah, I think as Eriksson's clearing that, hits the stick of Forsberg. Here's a great play. Josi, watch, he's going to peel back up the half wall, and then diagonally, he goes all the way through to Fisher, down to the opposite corner inside the Boston zone. Great vision, great use of the open seam, Roman Josi.
So Gregory Campbell tied up with Ribeiro. Ribeiro got the draw. Predators looking to get one more shot here with the advantage. And offside they go instead. Power play is over. Lucic pops out of the box.
The Eric Nystrom Show has a new spot. Head out to Mason Bar at the Lowe's Vanderbilt Hotel tomorrow night from 7 to 8 p.m. for the 102.5 The Game Eric Nystrom Show. Eric's special guest will be rookie star Philip Forsberg, of all people. Food, drink specials, plus free parking. See you all tomorrow night.
Seidenberg. Down the left side, Paille. Kept in Seidenberg and goes to the corner. Ekholm got there before Campbell. Off the skates of Colin Wilson. Ellis pulls the puck away, and now it's Craig Smith. But his pass caromed off the Bruins skates. Ellis to the trapezoid and Ribeiro. Ribeiro on his backhand. Turns to roll it low. 2-2 the score. Around Ribeiro, tipped by Paille, and he comes out right wing. Bruins and the Predators go for a change as the Bruins dump it in.
In spite of the tie, I like the Preds game, Pete. Winning a lot of races for loose puck, win a lot of battles for loose puck. The possession game favors them right now.
Ellis's pass tipped nicely over for Cullen. His shot blockered away. Nystrom got a piece of that and sent it wide. Here's Weber. That blast misses. Rebound. Forsberg a try. That deflected off Bergeron. Out of that corner with the puck. Krug. And spun around through center. Here's Riley Smith again. He's the one who tied it up, but Josi back battling with him. Right point. Miller. Smith couldn't handle that cleanly. And it's shoveled ahead, but too far for Cullen. There'll be no icing. Predators go for a change. 26 aside are the shots. 2 goals aside, the score. Predators and the Bruins. One of 2 meetings this season, and all within a week's time. Coming down from the left, Eriksson's try, deflected out for Olli Jokinen, and he flips it off the board back to the Boston line. Thrown in with near offside and too much of stretching of the coin there, Fraser. Seidenberg with a shot that got by a lot of traffic, surprising Rinne, who still was able to control that at the last. Predators a change. A lot of end-to-end here in the third period. Continuous action. Ellis knocks down a pass at the line. Stays away from Cunningham. Neal steps around Kelly. Neal holding on to the puck. Trying to put it in front for Forsberg, and that's deflecting high into the netting. 8:39 remains in the third. This game is still even. It's 2-2 in Nashville. Tied at 2, 8:39 left in regulation. We are joined from the Predators bench by goaltender Carter Hutton. You've seen a little bit of a different game than last time we visited, Carter.
Yeah, this is, we're tale of 2 games there. We kind of started a little slow there, and I thought we bared down pretty well. Timely, we had a big time out there, and the boys kind of, we reeled it back in. We're playing a lot of good hockey here, getting guys to the net and getting some traffic.
Coach Laviolette calls the timeout. Important response from your group. I don't know what that guy's selling down there, Carter, but your group seems to be buying it. What buttons is he pushing?
I think he knows how to get our team going here. He knows the way that when we're playing our best, we're getting pucks to the net. We're generating a lot of chances there. And I thought our last game out in San Jose, we ended with a great third period, but our first and second we weren't happy with. And tonight we know we got to get that energy back, especially being at home, feeding off the crowd.
The Bruins people were talking downstairs in the period break about what a high velocity shot Shea Weber has, and yet the goal results from virtually a changeup.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a guy like that, you get to the net, anything can happen. And Shea shoots the puck so hard, but we take a lot of pride here on our power plays, getting pucks to the net. We're a team that, statistically, the more pucks we get to the net, the better results have been, and that's kind of been our mindset here tonight.
Carter, talk a little bit about that very thing. As a goaltender, you've got somebody like Mike Fisher lurking in and around the net front. That's got to be a big distraction.
Oh, yeah, I know he's a big body, and the majority of these guys are so big that, even that play in Fish, you kind of watch the replay in the slow-mo of Tuukka Rask there. He makes himself big, and he puts himself in a good position, but, the puck gets to the net, hits the stick, and goes up and over. There's not much he can do about it, and that's what you can do at this level is get in the traffic and just make it hard on every goalie every night.
Well, Carter, thanks for joining us again.
Hey, extended version, I loved it.
I was going to say the 1-hour version of the Carter Hutton Show.
Well, we have all sorts of things. We have saved some other responses that didn't hit air, and that'll be in a special DVD available later on.
So we'll go to Twitter and take questions for Carter.
There's a shot that got through. Rinne had to kick it away with the right pad.
Big right pad saved by Rinne. Wow.
And sometimes you wonder how they get through, but that's that whole idea again. Traffic. Fisher. Routed there by Griffiths. Predators a change. Torrey Krug noticing the change. Still wasn't able to get the puck quickly up. Here's Gregory Campbell, a shot. Blocked in the circle. Pulled out of the circle. And then Seidenberg shot. Bounced off Campbell himself. Trotman goes back to pick up. Rupaye. And then Järnkrok got it shallow into the Boston zone. Quickly up, and Fraser chips it behind the net. Paille kept turning after it, almost creating a chance right away. Ellis now for Forsberg. Forsberg turning toward the net and knocked down, I think, by a Bruin en route. Waiting there was Cunningham. Up the middle with it. Trotman. He puts it behind the Nashville net. 6:27 remaining. As the pass, almost a suicide pass there for Bourque, but he recovered. And Krug, and offside, a little over anxious on the right side, and then trying to hack that puck square was Milan Lucic.
Just a little bit earlier, there's what collision down low. Marchand, Josi. Marchand crashing down. Almost goes up and over Josi.
It's like a rodeo act. So they face off at center. Forsberg comes on left side. Backhander, gloved by Rask and held. Ribeiro was right in front. 13:53 gone in the third.
Young Philip, 4 game-winning goals on the year. He's tied for first in that department, and we make the point often. Leads rookies in all primary offensive categories: goals, assists, points. He sits at 30 and head and shoulders above the competition in plus-minus, and I think a pretty good indication of his all-around game, the way he's showing in that department.
Cullen in for the face-off against Bergeron. Dealt back, Josi, tough angle. That's blocked by Hamilton. Slowed down a bit as it got to Marchand. Marchand and Bergeron attacking. That was close at the line, to be certain. Poked up. Seidenberg to keep in. Trying to look in front. Cullen couldn't get to it, and there's a shot gloved by Pecorine. 14-18 gone. Third period. Each side has a goal in each of the second and third periods. Game tied at 2, and tonight's performance moment is brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
And that man is 9 points in his last 8 games. There, he lifts it down low. Ellis doing a great job way up in the play. Responsible for that puck turning over out to Ribeiro, and Ribeiro, impressive. Rolling puck up and over the shoulder of Rask. Great control. Big moment in this one. Your Bridgestone performance moment in this one.
Off the face-off, taken down by Seidenberg. Kelly in pursuit. Put on the board by Josi. Sent ahead by Weber. And the race, and Colin Wilson averts the icing call. Cullen goes after the Lucic right behind. Scooped over as Wilson knocked it down on the wall. Here's Fisher. Back pass to Weber. Josi from the angle. That deflects off Rask's glove hand. And back low. Kept away from Cunningham. And we have a whistle here for an icing.
It's funny, you see that harmless little shot come through from the point. Cullen is in front providing the traffic, and it really looked like Rask picked it up late. Doesn't make a great save. Really catches a piece of it, just a piece of it. Cullen, great job. Traffic, stick, in and around that puck as Josi throws it to the front of the Boston net.
Face off back to Hamilton. Shot. Boy, that deflected pinball style to be certain. And the Predators didn't play it, so the Bruins were allowed to do so after that high stick. Jabbed away for Forsberg, breaking out right wing. Josi filling the lane, driving the net. Forsberg's shot misses. Bergeron got it back out. Marchand couldn't get there. Predators stayed onside. 4:35 remaining. Chara's outlet. Riley Smith did not hold on. Here's Forsberg again. Forsberg creating some time and space. Got his shot that was dicked away. Forsberg goes after it on the board. Now Ekholm a blast. It was high, but onto by Rask.
Good shot by Matty Ekholm. Finds the shooting seam earlier. Watch this job. Roman Josi on Marchand. Tight quarters. Turns the puck over. The great defensive position Out to Forsberg it goes, and then Forsberg marches down, bombs away from the right wing shot. And then Forsberg again from the upper slot. Rask with good vision turns it aside.
Torrey Krug onto the left board with a wicked bounce over the shoulder there of Soderberg. Miller and Smith. Smith trying to backhand pass, broken up there. Cunningham got a piece of it. Predators doggedly trying to keep it there in the attacking zone. Bruins go for a change. No icing. Ekholm has it. 3 minutes and 48 seconds are left in the third period. It's a tie score. Yep. Darntrope breaking to center. He wasn't seen. It didn't appear.
Coach Laviolette shortening his bench, pushing more minutes for those.
Yep, and Ellis with a shot there, knocked away. And a strange bounce off the kid plate. Coming on with it now is Eriksson. His shot, and Rene got a piece of the stick on that. And Seidenberg with the try. Rebound comes away for Fisher. And on that shot, Nystrom broke his stick. Going to drive in, Gabriel Bourque. Nystrom with the new stick for Fisher. Nystrom comes by to support him. Picks it up, trying to wrap around. And that one stopped by Rask. Up on the wall. Somehow or another skying up to knock that down was Ellis. Turning his Bourque. Out of that corner for Shea Weber. Weber a blast. That blocked a follow-up. Knocked out in front. Getting to the rebound. Fed toward Burke. Instead back to Weber. Weber steps around Campbell. Throws it to the slot. Blocked away effectively off the stick of Bourque. Down low with it. And coming away, Trotman. He clears the zone.
What a terrific series from Nashville. Wow, some of the most impressive pressure we've seen over 57-plus minutes of hockey.
And now the spontaneous ovation here at Bridgestone Arena.
Here's a good chance for Nystrom doing the heavy work down low. Look at him on the route. Rask couldn't have waited a millisecond longer to seal off that bottom part of the net, or it's behind him. Nystrom almost beats him on the forehand wrap. And these Bridgestone Arena faithful are loving it.
Timeout, Boston.
Yeah, and one appropriately spent by head coach Claude Julien. He senses the moment. Nashville is pressing. Nashville is threatening with the game on the line. Just 2:25 remaining. He's trying to take this crowd out of it and slow those guys in the gold jerseys down if possible. Weber had a series of good looks on this play. Here he is taking the outside, delays, Campbell scrambles, comes back to Weber. All kinds of separation between he and the next Bruin, and then he's thrown it back towards the Boston net. Long stretch of hockey for the captain. Remember, Volchenkov down, Nashville down to 5 deep.
Predators out shooting the Bruins in the third, 10-5. It's a 2-all score. Fans on their feet. Neal's pass, and responding to it, Seth Jones. Going in and against Chara. Hamilton held by Ekholm. This will result in Ribeiro going after it in the corner. Hamilton was able to clear it out. There'll be no icing here. Under 2 minutes remaining with the game tied at 2.
Second guy's got to come there quicker for Nashville if they're going to stay in the offensive zone. F1 is getting there in a hurry. Second forechecker's got to come quick.
Weber's pass left side. Coming down there, Ribeiro, and that shot held in the glove by Tuukka Rask. 92 seconds remaining in the third period.
You don't mind that play by Ribeiro. He's running out of options. He's on the half wall far side to Tuukka Rask's right. Good play, seeing the gold jerseys go towards the net. Just throw it there, throw it low, a foot and a half or below. Try to create a rebound with Forsberg and Neal headed in that direction.
Two centers out for the face-off in the attack zone. Cullen and Fisher. Cullen was able to get it. And there's wrap-around try. And it comes all the way back to the line, and Weber. Yossi, tough angle, blocked in front by Miller. Colin Wilson out of the right corner. Slipping a bit to Cullen. Weber was going down to the slot. Fisher for Cullen. Colin Wilson had some room on Bergeron. Bergeron closes on it. Coming up, 1 minute remaining in regulation. Weber throws one off the end board. Chopped at by Sullivan. Seidenberg and Cullen. Colin Wilson there too. Taken away by Bergeron. Bergeron's pass was blocked. And it comes down off the end board as the Predators get control of it. 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Game tied at 2. Calle Jarnkrok lost it. Back in comes Lucic. His shot. And that one off the melon of Rinne and up off the mesh and dropped back down in front of the Nashville goal.
Puck turns over. Neutral ice. Calle Jarnkrok unable to control it. Lucic is right back in transition, shooting from the outside. Roman Josi arrives to save the day. We're so accustomed to seeing this. Collapses over to the right point side to front. Lucic, stick on stick he goes. Up into the net to avoid the trouble.
Cunningham will step in to take the face-off to Rinne's right side. Lucic and Chara waiting for a shot, but the Predators got the draw. Nystrom had to go wide. His shot deflects to the corner. Lucic plays the puck over to his left. Kelly is able to clear. Ekholm comes back. 10 seconds remain in the third. Will they get one more rush before time runs out? And no, they will not. We are going to go to the maximum 5-minute 4-on-4 overtime. Each side scored a goal in the third period. Predators 13 shots in the third, and the Bruins with 6.
Predators are 1-1. Forsberg. The Bruins are 3-1. 2 of those goals scored by Brad Marchand.
I'll tell you, if territorial advantage counts for anything, the Preds are the team over the back half of this third period. It was them almost exclusively inside the Boston zone, generating all kinds of chances, many of them high grade. Rask had to be sharp. Preds threatening throughout the back half of the third.
So waiting for the clock to tick down. Then they'll get things started here. 4-on-4.
Looks like Weber Josi to start for the Preds. James Neal and Rivero, no shock there. These two anticipate one another exceptionally well. And don't you know, Pete, they probably appreciate the extra space provided by the 4-on-4 set.
And the Bruins go with 3 forwards. There's Hamilton, the lone defenseman, being employed. As Riley Smith, who tied this one up. Now Neal breaks in, tries to turn around, gives it off for Josi. His shot, Rask was there. Josi puts it right back at him, and Rask covers up.
What a terrific play by James Neal. In the transition, look, he cuts back, little forehand sauce, filthy sauce over to Roman Josi, and then Josi from the outside, an initial bit, a strong one, but Rask fronts it well, able to take away the bottom of the net.
Bottom of the net, and then a weak little follow-up ensues from there.
Wilson, Forsberg, Josi and Weber. Riley Smith breaks out with it. Still 4 forwards on for the Bruins. Weber puts it on the wall. Predators now could have the numbers in transition, but that wide pass slowed it down. Marchand steals it away. Riley Smith comes on, a stick is thrown, and Rinne made the stop. Man.
Preds attempt to transition. Puck is in neutral ice. And then Forsberg makes the play back attempts to play back to Weber. That's turned over. That gets the Preds in trouble. Fortunately, 35 is there yet again to seal off the short side and make the glove save.
Krug, the only defenseman on for the Bruins. They go 3-1 in these overtimes, and we have seen video of them doing that before. Ekholm carrying for Nashville. Follows up. Puck bounced on him just a bit. Krug has it for the Bruins. Outlet for Lucic. Lucic back against Fisher. Thrown across. Krug did not take a shot as Ellis went sprawling. Back to Lucic. Side of the net. Krug coming out the defenseman to the blue line. And it comes toward the front of it and gloved down by Rinne. Behind the play there was Cunningham right by the Predators netminder.
Terrific little exchange between Krug and Lucic. They're the reason the Preds are scrambling in their own end, and then fortunately an opportunity presents itself. Rinne steps out of the blue paint. Puck deflected by Ellis. That presents the opportunity. Peck is able to once again get out, smother up, settle things down so the Preds can reset.
Chara, the lone D-man back. Soderberg against Ribeiro, who pulls it back. It is Ellis and Jones now. Ribeiro and Neal up front. Eriksson and Campbell. The forwards flanking Soderberg. Jones somehow got it in across the line, but pulled away by Eriksson. They played a minute 48 of the maximum 5. An outlet pass blocked by Eriksson. And then a pass intercepted, taken away by James Neal. Ribeiro with Yossi. Coming on Neal, tapped away. Gregory Campbell down the right side. Soderberg follows. Contesting Campbell was Ribeiro, and now Ekholm has the puck for Nashville. Left wing side Neal. Cross ice, tipped by Riley Smith.
A long stretch of hockey for Neal and Ribeiro. Yep, they'll leave for new forwards.
This is Marchand. Smith plays back. Sort of an outlet attempted. Ekholm turns Marchand. And from the corner, Ekholm spins it back. Colin Wilson almost mishandled the puck. Now it's flipped out for Wilson. Wilson bursting into the Boston zone. Cutting across, the shot is stopped. Stick is lost there by Krug. Puck comes out to center. Wilson comes in. Predators stay onside. Slip the puck toward Rask, who covers up in the blue ice with 3 minutes off the overtime clock.
Colin Wilson has given Krug all kinds of fits in his own zone. There you see him bursting through neutral ice. He'll go outside, back inside, just overpowers Krug. And then an opportunity just a moment later. Look at it, buying time, waiting for the other attacker to get back to onside. Tries to go around Krug, leave the puck out the other side. Too close to Rask. He's able to smother.
Cullen and Fisher up front. The draw comes back to Ellis, walking down the left board, trying to get to the front of the net. He then is hammered down by Seidenberg to the front of the net, and Ellis was there again. Seidenberg bumps with him. Lucic taken by Cullen, steps in front, tries to stuff it home, and Rask holds it out.
Good work by Matt Cullen. Just a little under 2 minutes remaining here in the extra period. Makes a strong play at the net from a bad angle. Right there, knowing that Ryan Ellis is in front, and play cycles a little bit further along, creates that turnover. Does Ellis, allows Cullen to take it to the net. Rask seals it all off down low.
Ribeiro against Chris Kelly. Left of Tuukka Rask. Sent right back for Ellis, teeing up, and that goes off the blocker, the goaltender Rask.
I tell you, the Preds have won some clutch draws. Last part of the third period and through this overtime, Pete.
Now trying to convert it into the game winner. 3:40 gone in the maximum 5-minute overtime. Ellis's pass picked off. Lucic breaking in with Cunningham. And that's stopped by Rinne. And the follow-up by Soderberg stopped by him as well. Oh, big cheers ring up for the Predators' number 35. Now Ribeiro looking for some help. Yossi's shot! And Rask gloves it waist high. You want some thrills? Stay tuned, folks.
If you're looking for the definition of game saver, it looks a little bit like this. Turnover. Lucic is just going to power all the way to the net. Look at Rinne on Lucic, and then the follow-up opportunity. Preds transition back the other way. Good bid by Roman Josi. Not nearly as high grade as the Lucic play a moment ago. Pekka Rinne. What do you say?
Back now for Ekholm. Knocked down Chara away from Forsberg. And the pass comes to that circle where Chara clears it out across the line. Krug carries in. Krug fades to his left. Put it in front for Soderberg and off the chest of Rinne. Ekholm turns up the left board. Philip Forsberg in across the line. Nice move, but Polk checked away from him. And it's pursued by Forsberg and retrieved inside the Nashville line. Colin Wilson in for Shea Weber. Bouncing puck on Weber. Weber pursues it on the left board. In the corner, it's left. Soderberg gave it to Krug, almost put in his own net. The long pass up center. And this one knocked down at the line. And a whistle here as time ran out in the overtime. And it would appear we indeed are heading to a shootout. So in the overtime period, Nashville outshot the Bruins 7-5. And now we're going to that special way of determining the winners of these games.
Pete, if there's been a more entertaining game of hockey this year, I've not seen it. This has been an absolute dandy. From the second period forward, I'll tell you what, we've used this analogy before, but this has felt like a playoff contest. Two heavy teams. Two teams playing with a great deal of urgency, and it has just been a pleasure to watch. Trading chances at both ends. But what do you say about the work of these two goaltenders?
Yes.
My goodness. Rinne and Rask, credit numerous game savers to both.
So we're going to go to the shootout. Predators, as they've been doing under Peter Laviolette, opting to go first. Derek Roy will be the first one to determine a victor in this game. Roy moving in, weaving his way in toward Rask. Lost the puck almost and slides it in. Now, can you count the number of deeks there, even in slow motion?
Oh my gosh, I'm out of fingers up here. Terrific play by Roy. Look at him. Darting, diving, weaving all the way in. Almost loses it right at the end. Gathers himself, collects it on the backhand, and Rask bit. He goes right. Roy goes left, tucks it in behind him.
Brad Marchand, 1 of 1 this year, comes in with some speed. And Rinne makes the stop. It's a round of 3, and the Predators lead 1-0 after 1.
At the other end of the spectrum, the Marchand approach is barreling right down center ice. And the left-hander tries to beat Pekka Rinne over that right pad. Great save, Rinne.
James Neal for Nashville. Rask comes out, and he's able to make the stop on the blocker side.
Similar approach and attempt to that of Marchand just a second ago. Neal right down the ice. Lefty trying to beat the goaltender on the stick side halfway up the net. Great blocker save, Rask.
Here now, Riley Smith. He tied this game in the third period. Moves in, hesitates. Is that continuous motion? Well, that point is now moved.
It sure is. Don't need to carry on that debate a moment longer. Rinne flashes out the right pad to deny Smith. Wide goes Smith, then back in, and then he checks up trying to confuse. Pecorine backing in, taking away the angle. Makes the pad save in any event.
Forsberg can send everybody home right here. Breaking in. And Rask is able to make the stop. So now it's all going to come down to a shooter for the Bruins as to whether or not this is going to continue or not.
Bergeron to keep them alive.
Predators lead 1-0. This is the third and final shooter of the first round for Boston. Patrice Bergeron decides to go wide. And he's stopped by the stick of Rinne. And the Predators take this game 3-2. What a performance here tonight. Predators, as David Poile, ironically enough, against the Bruins team, he now breaks his tie for second most wins in a general manager's NHL career with the longtime Bruins GM, Harry Sinder.
Congratulations to David Poile. Terrific distinction and recognition well-deserved. In keeping with recognition well-deserved, Pecorine, what do you say about his performance here tonight? And I'll tell you what, worth every dime you pay that man when he's able to deliver in a game like that and in a shootout, an area where he's improved remarkably. Pushes his record to 4-1 in the shootouts this year. 19 of 21 attempts he stopped over the course of the 5 shootouts he's been involved in this year.
In a shootout, Predators win it 3-2. They are now 12-2-1 at home. Bruins are 6-7-1 on the road. And let's go to Terry and Mark in the Fox Sports Tennessee zone.